Hello and welcome to this week's Training Services Tech Tip of the Week. Today we're going to be taking a look at another feature from the Microsoft Outlook application available across all versions of Microsoft Outlook, and that is the Immersive Reader. The Immersive Reader is useful for both creating emails as well as reading emails. And what you'll notice is that when you enable the Immersive Reader, it does give you a toolbar to the left side here where you can specify things like column width, page color, line focus, text spacing, as well as enabling and disabling the syllables and even the read aloud. This is pretty neat because it does allow you to change the draft area while you are composing as a personal view, not necessarily as a view for everyone, unless that recipient enables the Immersive Reader. So if you notice right now, it is highlighting that the column width for the drafting of the email is sort of like shrunk across the page. It's centered and a little bit smaller than the whole page. That is adjustable via the column width. If you notice, it's set at narrow at the moment, but if you go with moderate, notice how it starts opening up. The other cool thing is a page color. So if you don't like the white background contrasting with the text, you can go ahead and change it into a light gray, a light blue, or a sky blue. If you go opposite, which is in this case the dark contrasting black, notice how the text does flip to a contrasting white. So it's pretty intuitive in the sense that if you're using dark color font, it will go into the light colored backgrounds, but if you do switch over to a dark background, it switches the color of the font. I'm going to go with the light blue for right now. The line focus, if you are writing lengthy emails, you can make it that so that it shows you no focus, a single line focus, 3 lines of focus, or 5 lines of focus. So it's just paragraphing into several lines. The text spacing, if you notice, the separation between one letter and the next is pretty ample. But if you remove it, it does go ahead and shrink it. So if you like spacing, just to see the words a little more spread out, you can go ahead and leave it on. Syllables. If you actually want to break it down into syllables, you can go ahead and turn that on. And then finally, the read aloud, which would actually just go ahead and read exactly what you have on your screen. So this is obviously you drafting an email through the Immersive Reader. But even if you open an existing email, like for example, Jonathan's Amazing Flex Opportunities email, and then enable Immersive Reader, notice again how you have the option to modify the column width, moderate, narrow, very narrow, and so on. The page color, if you realize from earlier when I went ahead and switched it, it keeps that color. The line focus right now, it's set to none. That's why it's not really broken into paragraphs. But if you go ahead and do the single line, it is focusing one line at a time. If you change that into 3 lines, then it will include blank lines, obviously. The text spacing is still enabled. Syllables are still there. Separated, and if you disable that just to get whole words, but then turn on read aloud.
Good morning, colleagues. The next 2 weeks are amazing weeks for Flex. We have wonderful Flex opportunities for you.
You do get a nice readout of the emails, and it's pretty nice. It's pretty accurate, pretty speedy. It doesn't sound too robotic. It does have some settings that you can modify the reading speed as well as a voice selection from female to male. Unfortunately, that's it. It also works with external emails. So if I was looking at this other email related to CalPERS and then I turn on the Immersive Reader, again, notice how the most of the settings transfer over. If I go into Read Aloud.
Outside Southwestern College. Do not click any links or open attachments if you do not trust the sender.
So it's pretty neat because it does allow you to obviously check your email without necessarily having to read it. If you like to multitask, you can definitely go ahead and turn on that Immersive Reader while you're doing something else, and then take advantage of the feature. All right, I hope you like this week's Training Services Tech Tip. Stay tuned for more. Take care. Bye.